Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take complex, essential knowledge, distill it, and deliver the highest impact insights directly to you.
Today, we are diving into something. Well, it's pretty intense. It's a singular, uncompromising message from a really respected figure in Zen practice, Master Sumangala Sayadaw Viên Phúc.
Yeah, and this isn't just theory, is it? The source material feels like a serious, almost urgent corrective. It's really aimed at anyone who considers themselves a dedicated spiritual practitioner.
It is. The Master's whole goal here is to just cut through all the noise and define the exclusive road to complete permanent liberation.
Our mission today is to unpack that core argument, and it's radical in how direct it is. He's defining the one true path to nirvana, and maybe more importantly for a lot of us, he vigorously refutes all these popular views and practices that he says are traps.
Just traps. He claims they lead nowhere but right back into the cycle of suffering and rebirth.
Wow.
Yeah. The central assertion is crystal clear. The Master confirms that only the Noble Eightfold Path, the one validated and taught by the Buddha Gautama, leads to the definitive end of suffering.
So any other practice, no matter how comforting it might feel.
No matter how popular, yeah. He'd say it risks being a wrong view that just keeps you stuck.
Okay, so let's just establish the stakes right away.
Yeah.
If you're practicing Dhamma, what is the ultimate purpose? According to this message, it's not just about, having a better, calmer life.
Not at all. I mean, that might be a nice side effect.
Yeah.
But the supreme goal is the state of the unborn immortal.
Nirvana.
Nirvana. True. Final freedom from the whole cycle of existence.
And if that's the goal, he is unequivocal. There's only one vehicle to get there.
One systematic vehicle. The Noble Eightfold Path. He calls it the single correct practice.
Yeah.
Full stop.
And this path, it's often broken down into the three essential trainings, right? The Tam Hock. They sort of build on each other.
Exactly. They're progressive steps. You can't just jump to the end.
So what's step one?
First, you have the foundation, which is morality. Sila. This covers right speech, right action, and right livelihood. The Master really emphasizes that this is square one. It's the necessary starting block for purifying the coarse defilements.
The obvious stuff.
The obvious stuff, yeah. The wrongdoings that you express through your body and your speech.
But if morality is just the foundation, does he worry that people just stop there? That they think, okay, I'm a good person, that's enough?
Oh, that concern is absolutely central to his entire message, and we'll see why. Morality makes the mind stable, it makes it safe, but it's completely insufficient on its own.
Okay.
That's what leads you to the second step, concentration, samadhi. This is where you get right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration.
This sounds like the real heavy lifting.
This is the heavy lifting. It's the intensive training you need to really tame the mind and purify all the subtle defilements that are hiding inside. It makes the mind, pliable and steady.
And the final step, the culmination where liberation actually happens, is wisdom, prajna.
Precisely. Wisdom is right view and right intention. This is the sharp, penetrating insight that dispels ignorance. It completely cuts the root of all the deep-seated defilements. Greed, hatred, delusion.
So morality, then concentration, then wisdom.
And the Master is totally uncompromising on this. He says this strict, progressive structure is the only correct path in Buddhism.
Okay, so let's get into it. This is where the conflict comes in, because the Master then gives this huge list of views and practices that are, they're widely accepted. Some people would even call it modern Buddhism.
Right, and he just emphatically rejects them as leading to nirvana.
Yeah.
He's saying if you're practicing for ultimate liberation, these are the paths that just waste your time and your effort.
So let's group them. What's the first major category of wrong paths?
The first one targets people who mistake simple ethics or social engagement for the actual path to freedom.
I hear that constantly. My practice is just trying to be a good human, or, I just try to be kind and happy every day.
He labels those as external paths. He says they're aimed only at escaping temporary pain or seeking some kind of temporary worldly joy. They stop way short of the supreme goal.
But wait a second, doesn't that risk making the Dhamma sound really elitist? Like it's cut off from helping society. How can he just reject kindness as insufficient?
He actually tackles that head on. He refutes this modern idea of Buddhism entering the world.
Okay.
His logic is that since all beings are already drowning in the world, trapped by ignorance, The goal can't possibly be to enter it more. The goal, by definition, has to be exiting the world. Exactly. The exiting path to nirvana. His point is, if you've truly understood the problem, your focus naturally shifts to getting out, not making your prison cell more comfortable.
Wow, that puts an incredibly high bar on your intention. You're not practicing to be a better human. You're practicing to end the core problem of being human, which is rebirth.
Absolutely. And that leads to his second major refutation, which is against mistaking merit or rituals for the real deal.
Okay, so what about things like giving charity or observing precepts? I mean, these are foundational good deeds in Buddhism.
They are good, he'd agree. But he warns they only generate merit. They're focused on generating good fortune.
So, a better rebirth.
A better rebirth, exactly. A more pleasant life next time around. But they completely lack concentration and wisdom, which are the only two things that can end rebirth entirely.
And things like chanting.
Same category. Chanting, striking the wooden fish, focusing on mantras. He says they're insufficient. They might give you a temporary calm or even some minor powers, but he's very clear that calm, those powers, they vanish the moment the body breaks up at death. And the cycle just keeps on going.
So if I'm practicing mindfulness just to say reduce stress at my job, is the master saying that I'm missing the point entirely?
That's absolutely the implication. If your ultimate aim isn't the total cessation of suffering, you're just, as they say, rearranging the furniture in a burning house.
And he takes this even further, right? He refutes some core misunderstandings of suffering itself.
He does. He strictly rejects the idea that we should learn to handle suffering better, or that we can somehow manufacture happiness.
You can't negotiate with reality.
Exactly. Suffering is a fundamental truth of existence. It's not a problem we can just manage or bend to our will. He says you can only realize it completely and then eliminate its root, which is craving and ignorance, through rigorous insight, through wisdom.
So seeking even temporary happiness is a problem.
He calls it a delusional perception, because you're still clinging to things that are, by their very nature, impermanent and unsatisfactory.
Okay, now we get to what might be the most profound philosophical rejection here. It's aimed at these non-traditional teachings about not needing to try so hard, the no effort and inherent Buddha nature fallacies.
This is critical. He is so strict about this. He rejects any view that minimizes effort. Things like just live naturally, or you don't need to try, just smile and you'll get insight.
You hear that a lot in certain circles.
You do. And he views it as slander against right effort, which is a core part of the path. He says if there is no sustained, diligent meditation, there can be no profound insight, wisdom, period.
And what about that very popular idea of an inherent permanent self, a Buddha nature that's already inside you?
What's fascinating here is that the master sees this idea of a permanent, uncreated consciousness, this concept of returning to your inherent Buddha nature, as one of the most dangerous philosophical traps there is.
Why dangerous? It sounds so hopeful.
Because he labels it the wrong view of permanence. He says it fundamentally denies the reality of dependent origination. It slanders the foundational truths that everything, your body, your mind, every single experience is characterized by impermanence, suffering, and, crucially, non-self.
So if you believe in a permanent, unchanging core, you can never realize the truth of non-self.
And realizing non-self is essential for liberation. You can't get there without it.
That is a very, very high bar for what counts as an authentic teaching. The message is basically, if it sounds easy, or if it tells you that you don't need rigorous ethical and mental training, it is almost certainly a wrong view.
And this leads right to the question of, well, how do you know? How do you verify a teaching? He doesn't just reject things. He provides context from the Pali Canon to prove his point.
So he backs it up.
Always. He confirms that progressive stages must be followed. You start with morality. Then you move to the middle stage of developing concentration and suppressing the 5 hindrances: greed, ill will, sloth, restlessness, and doubt.
And only then do you get to the final stage, which is that penetrating insight wisdom.
Right, which leads to the complete realization of the 4 noble truths. He stresses that anything less than that kind of root-cutting wisdom is just a temporary fix.
So what does this all mean for us today? You know, we're navigating a world where 1,000 different teachings are available with a single click. We have to be vigilant.
Extremely. And he gives specific warnings about modern errors that he says weaken the 3 jewels.
What are they?
Firstly, anyone who declares that life is not suffering. He says that directly contradicts the foundational truth the Buddha taught. Secondly, anyone who denies the need for diligent meditation and effort for concentration. And thirdly, those who try to spread doubt by claiming certain canonical texts like the Abhidhamma are the Buddha's original teachings.
This brings up the ultimate question then. How do you, as a practitioner, know if a teaching you encounter is authentic and actually leads to liberation?
He gives the ultimate test. It's a direct quote from the Buddha in the Great Parinibbana Sutta. When you encounter new teachings, you're instructed not to praise or blame them right away.
So don't just accept or reject it.
Don't. Instead, you have to learn it carefully, every word, and compare it directly with the suttas and the discipline, the established canon.
So that comparison against the canon is the non-negotiable standard. It's like the user manual for the path.
It is the ultimate safeguard. He says abandoning this verified structure of morality, concentration, and wisdom is like being a naive person lost without a map in the middle of a blinding storm on the vast ocean of suffering.
The core instruction then is to cling firmly to the correct path, the noble eightfold path like. It's a sturdy ship crossing that ocean.
And that journey requires immense drive. This is maybe my favorite part. He ends with this profound clarification about motivation. He argues that the desire for insight wisdom, the desire to achieve the highest fruits of practice, it's not greedy attachment.
It's not. People worry about that.
Right? He calls it essential dharma desire. It's a necessary condition that fuels the extreme diligence you need to achieve total liberation.
And because the opportunity to even hear the true Dharma is so incredibly rare, the Master's final call to action is just absolute. He says, please don't waste even 1 second.
That urgency, it just reflects the gravity of what's at stake. If the goal is truly permanent, total liberation nirvana, it requires this uncompromising structured path. Anything less is, by definition, just seeking a temporary worldly gain, which is guaranteed to fade away.
So as you were hearing this message and reflecting on your own spiritual life, what common belief, perhaps even one you've picked up from modern self-help or quick fix mindfulness trends, are you currently clinging to that this master might categorize as seeking temporary joy rather than pursuing the rigorous, uncompromising, exclusive path of sila, samadhi, and prajna? That's the challenge he leaves us with today.